Materials designed for face-to-face environments. Material Development in Language Teaching by Lorenzo Mahecha Vila. What type of materials should be included in English language teaching? First, materials that make impact on learners. Materials that draw the students' attention and curiosity, for instance. Materials that contain novelty. Example, uncommon topics, images. Materials that are rich in variety. Examples, CDs with different teachers' audios or videos for gap-filling activities. Materials that contain appealing presentations. Example, attractive colors, images, and videos. Materials that present some challenging activities for students. Example, puzzles, crossword puzzles, handman games, etc. 2. Materials that help students to feel at ease. Documents containing illustrations related to students' own culture. Audio activities containing voices that make the student feel relaxed and supported. 3. Materials that help students to develop confidence. Materials that encourage students to write personal stories or short poems. Materials that require and facilitate learner self-investment. Textbooks containing activities that make students discover for themselves particular linguistic features of the target language. To involve students in mini projects that requires them to find some materials according to their likes and prepare some readings lessons per semester. 5. Materials that expose students to authentic use of the target language. Job interviews. Local community projects. Listen to the news or radio. 6. Materials that provide students with opportunities to use the L2 to achieve communicative purposes. Jigsaw reading activities. Post-listening and reading activities that demand the students to use information from documents and to discuss with their colleagues. Writing or speaking activities that involve communication with other students. 7. Materials that take into account the different students' learning styles. Visual materials such as posters or presentations. Auditory materials such as podcasts, music, or videos. Kinesthetic materials such as those which have students follow instructions. 8. Materials that take into account the students' affective attitudes. Activities that involve the students in discussing their feelings and attitudes about the materials or course. Materials that involve the diversity of students' interests. 9. Materials that allow students to have a silent period. TPR, Total Physical Response activities. Listen stories and allow students to respond questions using their L1. 10. Materials that don't rely too much on control practices. Practicing dialogues that allow students to use their L2 despite that their mistakes in fluency or accuracy. And finally, 11. Materials that provide students with opportunities for feedback. Role-play activities, circle speaking. Principles of second language acquisition, relevant to the development of materials for language teaching. First, what is being taught should be perceived as relevant in use of by students. It is the teacher's duty to explain to students the relevance of the materials exposed to them. To do so, teachers must persuade and convince students that the teaching points covered are related to the real-life situations, which students will face using the L2. Second, learners must be ready to acquire what is being taught. Students must receive rough input, which is comprehensible for their level, and then start introducing new other input for creating new knowledge. This is called constructivism. Third, the student's attention should be drawn to linguistic features of the input. Students must pay conscious or unconscious attention in how they understand and internalize the grammar structures of the L2. And finally, fourth, the process of the L2 acquisition must involve the stimulation of both right and left brain students' hemispheres. Teachers should involve students in activities that require both cognitive processing, such as drills, processing rules, transformation activities, and stimulate mental and affective processes. For example, singing, dancing, etc.